classic French breakfast. Bread, jam, coffee, cereal, and juice. Just charging up all of my electronics before I gotta go. Everyone has a picture of this very beautiful tower here. Hey, check out my chips. So it's like the 10th day on trail, I want to say. I just stayed in Châtenois, which is a cute little town, at a guest house kind of thing. They were so lovely. It's like a school though, or a summer school, or a summer camp or something, and so it was full of students, like high schoolers, which was funny because they're very loud. And I think I was the only like non-high schooler guest. So they were really like kind of, I don't know, making sure that I was okay, which was very sweet. But this morning, oh, it's been like a kilometer of just basically flat, which is so nice. It's just like a really great way to start the day of hiking. It's just like a nice little flat warm up through the forest in the shade because it's so hot and it's getting way more humid. But yeah, it's beautiful. I might do a slightly shorter day of hiking today, like 20 kilometers, as opposed to the usual 25 or 27. I took a bit of a later start because I had to edit a video, and it always takes forever. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what time it is when I get to the first camp option, and then go from there. Bonjour. Logging activities going on this morning. Interesting. To camp here, but it's like really early still, and it's not a lot of flat space. But the problem is that like there's a big no camping zone for the next like, I don't know, 6 kilometers or something. These no camping zones are getting really annoying because they're all in these like awkwardly spaced things. So it's either you only hike like 15 kilometers or you hike like 30, and it's like not a lot of in between. It's a bit frustrating. Came to this campground and online it said it was closed, but I thought, oh, you know what, I bet they just have flat space. I'm just gonna show up and see if, you know, even if no one's there, I don't need to use the facilities, I just need a flat spot to camp. And I got here and there's like a whole bunch of RVs here, and the sign definitely says that it's not open till July 1st, but everyone's just chilling. So I found myself a little flat patch of grass away from the RVs, and it's great. It has water. That's literally all I need. So I'm gonna set up my tent and just call it good. From inside my tent, not following any of your camping rules. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I know, you're not supposed to cook dinner in your tent, but guess what? There are no animals out here, so I don't care. I'm hungry and I don't want to go sit in a pile of grass somewhere else, so I'm gonna sit here, make my little cup of ramen, keep my legs away from it, because then if it did tip over, I don't want it to burn all the flesh off my legs. So it's over there. I'm over here. We're good. Delicacy du jour is a curry flavored ramen, and probably like a sandwich later. Can you put cheese in ramen? Is that gross? Because I have a lot of cheese. Probably put some salami in there. Put a little bit of sausage in there. It looks really weird, but it tastes fine. This is how all of their sausages look. IDK. So like basically every night while I still have my door open, these like waspy type things all manage to find their way in between the layers of my tent. I just cannot figure out how they possibly got in there. And then they're just buzzing around being idiots until I have to figure out how to let them all out before I go to sleep. Otherwise I'm going to listen to buzz, 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 buzz all night long. Just so stupid. Just go out the way you came. There's so much space. Idiots. Oh, I can't do this with this hand. Oh yeah, my hair's looking good. My little tent next to these giant RVs. It just looks so cute. Look at her. My whole life just inside this little baby tent. Look at her. To run into a Jesus on the cross in the middle of the woods. It's odd. This trail will be really nice in like a couple of months. I mean, yeah, it will be really hot, but everything will be covered in berries. Nice little public bathroom, just in the middle of nowhere. cheese pretzel. Just grabbed a couple of apricots from there. They look really good. And they were like 40 cents. It's awesome. I'll watch her. Probably shouldn't make videos with my mouth full, huh? Oh well. I'm drying out my shirt. It's so humid and hot that I'm very sweaty. Now I'm eating a sandwich. Explosion. Thanks. This is where I'm camping tonight, just up the hill at this Myrtle place. So I arrived at this sort of like random gîte guest house kind of thing, and they allow people to just like camp in the yard for like €8, which means you can use the water and whatever, which is fine. But it's weird because there's just like no one here. There's just an envelope that's like, put your €8, and then there are cameras everywhere, and they're like, we'll know whether you do or not. And I'm like, okay, weird. But there's one guest. I think I accidentally just like went and sat in his space because I thought it was a public space. So I like sit down at the table and he's like chilling on his phone. Only speaks French. I don't speak very good French. But he did invite me to eat dinner because he's barbecuing something. So see how that goes. But I'm gonna put up my tent and then just kind of see how this weird evening unfolds. I get to wash my shirt with soap this time. Something about hostels, they're all like a bring your own soap situation. This one's like 1 bar of soap. I just had such a fun, unexpected evening. I am camping at this sort of gîte. It's like a guest house, but I'm just like camped in the yard. And there's a guy that lives here that works on a farm nearby, a French guy. And I sort of, when I first arrived, kind of accidentally just like sat on his picnic bench that's like part of his little zone. He lives in the house up there in one of the rooms. Anyway, so he like brought me on a juice and like was like, oh, whatever, and we're chatting. I mean, we're kind of conversing back and forth in like French, English, a hybrid. Then I asked him, well, where is your farm? And he was like, oh, I'm thinking, I pull out my phone, like, show me on the map, where's your farm? And he was like, oh, it's like 2 kilometers away. Do you want to see it? And I was like, yeah, I do, absolutely. And so he's like, all right, let's go get in the car. I'm like, okay. So we get in the car and we drive 2 kilometers out to the farm that he works at that has like pigs and sheep and goats, and they make goat cheese and yogurt. Oh wow, so many. Oh. Huh. Cool. Yeah, wow. And then we came back here and we barbecued chicken. He had all this like cheese from the farm that he brought out and chips, and he made peas. You know, we each had like a glass of this like local wine, and it was so nice. Oh, there we go. It's 9 o'clock. Time for bed. About to turn into a pumpkin. It was just so sweet, and we just like got to chat, you know, in this like, yeah, this really funny hybrid broken Fringlish that we're trying to communicate in. But yeah, it's just one of my favorite things about traveling and hiking, and especially solo, because you run into these weird opportunities that, you know, if you were with a group of friends, you typically wouldn't, because there's just something about being a solo traveler or solo hiker that just affords those opportunities more readily. And I just love it. It's one of my favorite things about being out here. It's just, it makes it so special, and it was really, really fun to have that experience. And now I'm in my tent, and the sun is starting to set. You can see it a little bit out there. See? And it's officially 9 o'clock because you heard the bells. And yeah, now it's time to go to sleep. Good night. The island of Lost Cairns. This whole nature preserve area is so beautiful. It's just like a big, wide open ridge. Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that. What a small little snake. Hello. He does not care. He's having a good time. Hey, bye. I'm in this really cool tunnel. This is awesome. It's just a short tunnel, thank goodness, because I don't like long tunnels. Okay, and now I have to stop filming because I'm going to fall on my face otherwise. Whew. And then up there. Ah, it's so pretty out. Oh, I think this has been the most fun day of hiking yet. Yeah, definitely the most ups and downs, but a lot of like kind of rock climbing and like along these ridges, the cliffside, and then now I feel like I'm transported to this really beautiful section of the Glacier Peak Wilderness. It looks just like this. It's so pretty. So I was just way up there. Ooh, not on my finger. Yeah, I was way up there. And now I'm down here at this lake. How pretty it is. Okay, I made it to the first lake, and then I think I'm gonna push to the second lake. It's a little bit smaller, but I think maybe there will be fewer people. And I just need to put in a couple more kilometers because I made a little error that I will tell you about later. Well, at the moment, I think this is where I'll end up camping, at this fish poodle. It says this is an electric fence, but like without the wide angle on. It's not big enough for a person with a backpack to fit through. It's friggin' annoying. Because I don't know how electric is, you know? Anyway, I took my backpack off and like slid it through. It's probably stupid, but I was not about to be electrocuted by a fence. Oh yeah, I made it to the last lake of the day. Whew. It's beautiful. Oh, the sweet, sweet, sweet sign of a campsite when you weren't sure there was gonna be one. Oh, I'm so glad. Because there was a chance this is just rocky all the way around. But no, this is perfect. It's all for me because no one else is here. Oh yeah. So it says it's not a lake for swimming. And so I'm not gonna swim. But it's just so nice. And no bugs. I have to say it quietly, otherwise they might hear me. Do a little bit of stretching. Oh man. So what I realized, sneaky trail, is that I totally took for granted all the beautiful soft forest trails that we've been going through. Because, oh boy, today did we hit a rocky patch. Like any good relationship. We had our honeymoon phase. Now we're going through a rough patch. No, just rocky trails today. It was so beautiful though. Oh, it was really probably one of my favorite days of hiking out here. It was gorgeous. There were 4 or 5 lakes, this beautiful ridgeline we got to walk over all day, or like all afternoon or morning or whatever. I got to sneak in a little bit of lunch because I made a stupid mistake and I packed one fewer day of food than I should have. One less day of food than I should have. I somehow just like miscalculated my resupply, and so I'm a little short on food, so I had to hop into one of the like ski resort restaurants and grab a quick bite. Cause yeah, otherwise I would not have enough food. So that was a dumb thing for me. I just read it wrong or like remembered it wrong, and I just didn't get enough food. So lesson learned, double check it, because your hiker brain is dumb sometimes. Oh dear. But yeah, it'll be all right. Luckily, it was in a section where there are quite a few like touristy places, touristy things happening. So there should be no shortage of food. I just have to like, you know, pay attention better. Yeah, but today was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I am camped beside this lovely lake. Ugh, and it actually has a campsite. See, the thing about the Hexatrek app, it's new, you know, it's the first year that it's really being used. So it doesn't have like crowdsourced data yet, and it also doesn't list campsites. It's got like official shelters and things like that listed, but other than that, you're sort of like on your own to trust your instincts, and read the topo and hope that you get it right. So today, I got it right. Ooh. Yeah, I got it right. So this pretty campsite by a lake. And I probably have like 45 minutes left before the sun goes behind that ridge. So I'm gonna make some dinner and go to bed. Yeah, like 32 kilometers today, so a solid day of hiking. I added on like 6 kilometers today because I was a little worried about my food. So I'll get it down a little bit earlier. So it should be one more full day, and then by lunch the next day I'll be in town, so it's fine. If I'm like a little bit hungry, I won't die. Anyway, that's all.